So, there's a discussion, I guess, to be had, although not really any current thing, or major, I guess, because probably everyone has experienced this to some degree. But there's an issue with having favorites. And although it's good to love a lot of things and like a lot of things, that can be an issue. I mean, this is mainly going to be about my own personal experience of that, but liking so many things can cause issues, especially if you're neurodivergent. I believe I might actually be neurodivergent, but I'm not sure what exactly that would be. Just, I seem to exhibit some weird traits that would relate to this topic. So, to like a lot of things and not know what to do. So, like, for redecorating, I'd never actually really decorated a room before, since I had lived in the same spot forever, so it just kind of evolved slowly. I never had to decorate right then and there, redo everything. But going through the process of that, the last couple months, especially like when I had a pretty strong bout of working on it, it causes so much stress. And it's not because of just the fact I'm establishing everything, but it's also the fact that I can't get anything to match, and it's really hard to get anything to match, and that is due to me liking too many things. So, for example, I like birds. You can see I like birds by the actual background footage. I like video games, but not just one type of video game aesthetically, but like you got Halo, you got Pokemon, you got like Portal. Destiny could be kind of lumped in with Halo, but you have like Fortnite. I like, I guess, like cutesy things. I like floral. I like memes. So like I do have a couple. I have like Dat Boy in the back and all that. I like Peeps, which could just go under birds. And there's just a lot of other things that I had to take into consideration, which is a bit iffy when trying to get everything to match and look nice. And also another issue is trying to figure out where to put it. I want to keep everything that's the same together, and I have a lot more Halo stuff, for example, than other space sci-fi kind of stuff like Destiny. So would I just mix them together? Would I separate them? If I separate them and I don't have enough room, that would really bother me. And not even just that, favorites can go into not just physical means, I guess, in the sense of like redecorating or organization, but also to your activities and what you are doing. So in that case, video games would be a really big part, which I feel like this could apply to a lot of things, not just video games. But if I'm on Xbox, I have over 400 games installed. I actually do have at least 400 games installed. Maybe a couple are like updates, so I can't really play them. But 400. I only play like 5 games, and I'd love to play the other games. I just either it's mood, this or that, but plus my bad time management, favorites and everything cause issues. So it's just a big old mess of not knowing what to play because I like so many things. I really like Terraria. I have not played that in so long. Destiny. I love Destiny. I non-stop played that back during like Season of Dawn and Undying and just that in general like time period, but I've just had a really bad time keeping up with it recently. And I really enjoy Fortnite and I really enjoy Halo, and it's just a big culmination of issues there. And let's say I was to do activities IRL more often, hiking and going outside. I like going outside, I like doing that stuff, but would I rather play video games with my friends? Like, if we were hanging out at a house, would I rather go to just hang out somewhere? Would I rather go and do like a hiking trip? And it's all revolving around the currency of time. So it's not just I need to figure this out. It's I got a limited amount of this to do. And the same could go for a limited amount of space, limited amount of this. So In fact, although it kind of stumbled wording-wise to this point to get here again, I would prefer if I disliked more things. I wish I disliked more things, or at least didn't have just any appeal towards it, even if I didn't necessarily dislike it. Like, if I didn't like birds, although that one would kind of suck to dislike, I would have a shit ton of things no longer taking places, you know? If I no longer liked Halo, well, that's a lot of room, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of this and that. Just freed up space, freed up time, freed up thoughts, freed up memories to have for other things. But it just kind of loops, weirdly enough, because then you just have more room for more things. Another thing about a problem loving so many things, sometimes you like too many people, and not in the way of like romantic or sexual, I mean just like liking too many friends. And they don't have to be all the closest friends ever, but where the problems could arise there is the same with time management. How do you go and interact / keep up with these friends? Especially in an online space, it becomes a really big issue, because at least in person, everyone can hang out in person. Usually you're going to keep around the same groups. But online, you might have so many splintered off groups where you just never talk to some of them for months on end, or you kind of hyperfixate on one thing. Maybe it, like, especially if you have a problem with hyperfixation, and it just kind of downward spirals where you either lose friend groups, or maybe just aren't able to be on speaking terms as well with them, like it's awkward. And it's just, I've already voiced it. It is an issue. And going back to, since this is a video I wanted to make more kind of talk about my own issues with that, although I've never had too many options to cosplay due to the fact that I've only gone to, like one convention pretty much, I have too many things I love to try to cosplay. Like, I would love to do a couples cosplay with my significant other and have him be Saint 14 and me be Osiris, but besides obvious things that are not allowing that at the moment, I also would love to be a Halo Spartan or an ODST. Oh, I would love to be 2B from Nier Automata, although that one's a lot less likely because my facial structure is not really right for that. Or I would love to be this video game character and that video game character. I'd love to be my Guardian from Destiny. I would love to be this and that. There's too many things. And I mean, you can cosplay as old as you'd want to be to cosplay. And if you're just counting about like one convention per year, especially as that time and resources have to go into like home crafted ones, that's a long time. A lot of money if you're going to do more than 1 year. And so, like once a year. So maybe like you live 80 years and let's say you're only an adult, so maybe like just rounding off at 20. That's still a good amount of years, but are you really going to be going to one every year for that whole time? Are you going to have a whole new costume every time? It's just kind of, problematic there again. Or how I also wish I could go and dislike more things so I didn't get spouts of hyperfixations. Like, including when I was little, like liking these things, and I just still do. I love the idea of making music. I love the idea of expressing myself in ways maybe people enjoy. Like, maybe someone will enjoy this video perhaps. And I'm mid at all of it. And the problem is that besides just maybe it being a me problem on top of it, it's the fact that I like so many things, so it's hard to really focus and work on one thing. The closest I got was working on drawing, and even at that point, it's splintered between digital and traditional and a couple other things. Primarily digital, though, as you can tell again by the B-roll footage. But I just kind of wish it was a bit simpler, because I want to explore all these different avenues. Same goes with YouTube here. This channel is so just everywhere. You got the shorts of the bird, you got It used to be a lot of speed paints, like a daily speed paint, but now I'm using it as b-roll footage for these types of videos when exploring this. I used to upload VODs on here, and now I have the VOD channel, but me loving the idea of being able to maybe do Twitch streaming, which, to face it, honestly, I'm probably not ever gonna get that anywhere. There's that, there's art, and I have too many socials because I wanted to cover different things. I don't want to combine my art stuff on Insta with the other photo stuff I have. So there's roses and lenses. Then you have like 3 different Twitter accounts, which I'm not going to name one of them here, but it is there because it's the only avenue I could share that art and stuff. So it's just a big fuss of an issue for myself primarily. Not really much of an issue for any outsiders, I guess, but I just have things I want to do, and when you splinter, it's like the people that create just maybe YouTube content, they have multiple channels, they start splitting themselves thin. If they have editors and they have hired staff and they're making enough to do that, maybe not as much so, but for someone like me who's just literally only I'm working on it unless I'm streaming with other people, and even at that point I'm the only one making the thumbnail for my VOD, I'm the one uploading my VOD, etc, etc, then that's me really splitting myself like thin. And I think some of the only cemented things I can really say that I guarantee, or at least can mostly guarantee I'll be able to do, is the daily bird drawings. And that's mainly Insta, which I have almost 200 followers and I'm happy about that. Then you have YouTube, which I usually start bleeding a couple followers every so often, which I'm at 600 about, if you rounded it down. On Twitch, I'm just about to reach affiliate, but I'd have to still get the average watch time and everything. Well, not watch time, but viewers. I'm at 0.01 for that, so I don't think that's happening, honestly. And it just kind of continues doing that. I think I have about 30, if not closer to 40 on Twitter. But almost a majority of those are all mutuals. Nevertheless, going kind of rambling into that, favorites and just the idea of having favorites can be really problematic. And not even just favorites, but liking so many things can be problematic due to the fact of you having to split resources, and whether it be time, assets, actual like cognitive functions, I guess would be a weird way to put it, or even just physical space, I guess, which could also get assets. It all gets drained, and you have to pick and choose things a lot more. And if you're indecisive like me, that's not really gonna work well. But I hope you all have a good one, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.